doing, everyone? This is the first of, I think, many daily videos to come your way, hopefully as a way for you to maintain some sort of sanity during this crazy time. So if you're watching this, you're obviously a member of International Academy of Sleep, and you could be a brand new member of International Academy of Sleep, or you could be with us for years. And your situations may be different as far as knowledge and ability to cope. And obviously the one big difference, anybody who's been doing this regularly has 6 to 8 weeks of income still coming in over the next 6 to 8 weeks, which is potentially a lifesaver for you guys. And so my intentions here are not to do anything but have you go the extra mile right now. It's like, hey, this is a crazy time. It's a scary time, scariest time that I've been around in. And yet, how is it that I'm going to maintain sanity? You're going to maintain sanity. We're all going to be able to be there in what is right now an uncertain time. So to me, this is a time where more than anything, I want to utilize something that we may or may not have as much of as normal, and depending on who you are, your situation might be different. But I believe those of you who are directly involved in patient care for your most of your day, which is a lot of you who focus on dentistry, whose minds are on dentistry, who are doing dentistry, and who have not taken the time to build up sleep, you now have time to learn, understand, and implement. Now, just because your office shut down does not leave you dead in the water. We created telemedicine. I always said it was the future, but we really created it to control the process. This unfortunate circumstances is lining up for those of you who are willing to step out of your comfort zone, push past fear, because people need to see calm. Your patients need to feel calm, real, right? So you can look at me now and say, wow, Avi's calm. Hey, Avi's scared too. Who knows what's going to happen? You know me, I'm a germphobe to begin with. So I will tell you, probably the safest place from coronavirus is probably my house, because I'm not letting anybody in, have not for a while. But if I was exposed before this whole thing, we'll see. That being said, how are you going to show up right now is so important for your family, your children, your patients. How are you going to show up is going to define how you get through this crisis. Now, you have to look at this from so many different angles. Angle number one, most important of all, is clearly your health. Do everything you can to stay healthy. I'm not getting involved in this should we be open, should we not be open discussion, because to me, even if I was allowed to be open, I don't want to be in contact with more people. This is not about being perfect now, guys. It's something that dentists struggle with all the time. Well, I don't want patients taking impressions on themselves. I'm against that. Swallow your pride a little bit right now, guys. This is an uncertain time, and this is a temporary crisis, and it's going to end. Things in China have normalized, I guess, as far as new cases coming out. Their curve is no longer going up. They've gone through it. They're obviously months ahead of us. But things are going to normalize. How you come out of this is directly related to how you act during this. Now, trust me on this one, guys. I will never know the answer to this, so I'm saying trust me. And if you're part of this group, there has to be some sort of trust in me, in International Academy of Sleep, and what we do, because you've chosen to take an extra step already. You've chosen to spend money. You've chosen to be part of this group for a reason. International Academy of Sleep is positioned right now to be the best remaining group out there because of how we normally act, which is in a very sharing, encouraging, moral, highly ethical way where we follow all the rules. And following all the rules is pretty incredible when we have the ability to still follow them today. Nobody should be doing anything or cutting corners, because I promise you, you could get sued now just as easy. Imagine you make an appliance for someone, save their life, and then they sue you in a year because their bite is off. Well, we're going to have you take the same exact steps as if you would have, and there was no crisis. So you have to rise above right now. We have the ability for you to see your patient completely remotely. We are negotiating with everyone to get this cost down as low as possible. I am going to be filming a step-by-step. I'm not sure it's going to be one video. It may be many because there's so many pieces to it. But everything you do can be done remotely when it comes to sleep. Now, part of my pitch way back when you first met me is, hey, you need a business that does not depend on your physical presence. Guess what you have right now? A business that does not depend on your physical presence. Have you taken today's letter and sent it out to your patients via email, via text? And are you going to be sending that over and over again? Are you going to comb your patient database right now to specifically pick up the phone and call anybody with a cardiovascular or respiratory issue? Have you signed up for telemedicine? Do you have the ability to see your patients? By the way, not just sleep patients, but any of your patients. Rather than say, hey, I have an emergency, diagnose them this way. You can't catch a disease on a screen, I promise. Yeah, so rise above here, guys. I promise that you are going to be in a better position than you would have been. Now, I am telling you this for a fact. Those of you who have concentrated on sleep, and I've had a lot of calls in the past week, everybody that you would expect to feel good and positive during this crisis is good and positive right now. They have 6 to 8 weeks of income coming in, and they're doing everything they can to make sure that more patients than ever are getting an oral appliance. Have you tracked every single one of your patients with a CPAP? Call them up right now. Offer them an oral appliance. I am recommending cash for those of you who need to get finances right now. Getting an insurance company on the phone is going to be impossible. And if you try to get a pre-auth right now, forget it. I mean, it's going to be difficult. You have to realize that these are crazy times and require different measures. The ability to adapt is everything. Now, trust me, we're doing everything behind the scenes. We're thinking so you guys can then follow along the process, and this is going to change and change and change. But right now, today, you have the ability to reach your patients, and you should be reaching out as much as possible. Email, cell phone, calls, text, all of it. Reach out. I mean, imagine you have the ability to save one person, one of your patients that might have died from a cardiovascular respiratory issue, and you had the ability to change that. You got to get behind this, guys. This has the ability to be a lifesaver in so many ways for your patients that are ill, for you guys financially, for your sanity, and for your future. Reach out to doctors, all of your doctors. Reach out to them. Trust me, people are scared right now. They want to hear from you. Offer your doctors the ability to use telemedicine. Do things differently. Step out of your comfort zone. Reach out and do the things that you always don't have time to do. Guess what? If you have not finished BrainCert, finish it now. Yeah, there's going to be more info coming, I promise. And yeah, BrainCert's going to be more and more. So even if you finished it, you're going to have more info on there. Reach out, guys. You have to do more. Take advantage. If you spend 8 to 10 hours a day on patients, you now have 8 to 10 hours a day free. All these things that take months, you could become an expert. You could be teaching classes in a few months if you really are willing to go that extra mile. What you do now is going to define how you get through this crisis, and how you act is going to define it all. Be there for your family, be there for your kids, be there for your team. And yes, there are different ways of going about this. And yes, you do have to look out for yourself and your business, because if there's no business there afterwards, what are you going to do? You got to survive. The ability to adapt and survive is everything. I don't have a dental license, guys. I gave that up. I gave that up because I saw something different. I saw the ability to do something different. I didn't want to sit there and completely rely on me and my back and my mental stress level. We have to do this differently, guys. You have to do this differently. Start reaching out to your patients today. Cardiovascular and respiratory, oh my God. Save their life. Change their life. Follow along. We're going to have stuff for you every day. I'll post a different video. Some of them will be like this. Some of them will be more fun. A lot of different areas out there, guys. Do what you can to survive. Set yourself up to thrive. I don't ever want to come off sounding opportunistic, but somehow, some way, things have really lined up for those who are in the oral appliance business and have the ability to do this remotely. And for me, that's only one group, ours. Take advantage of it. That's why you're here. Reach out to your patients. If you haven't introduced them to it, introduce them to it today. If I had a cardiovascular respiratory condition right now, I'd be crapping in my pants, because I'm already more scared than normal. I know you could tell, right? This hair is a little bit out of place. Lead, guys. This is the time. Cream's going to rise to the top. Always does. Stand above. Reach out to your patients. I've said it forever. How many of your patients need a crown? And the answer, of course, is 0. How many of your sleep apnea patients need an oral appliance right now, today? Every single one of them. Every one of them. Get this one done, guys. You owe it to your patients. You owe it to your families. You owe it to yourselves. Step up. Rise above. Be everything that IAOS is about. We stand for nothing but excellence. Go out there and get them. I believe in you. You got this.